Ladies, let's be real. In a world where everyone's talking about what they deserve, very few know how to actually show their worth. Today, I'm giving you the tools to do just that. We're talking about powerful, silent ways to show a man exactly who you are without having to say a single word. This isn't about playing games or manipulating, it's about tapping into your true confidence, setting boundaries that speak for themselves, and knowing when to walk away with grace and strength. Because here's the truth. When a woman knows her worth, she stands out from the crowd. She doesn't need to convince, chase, or prove herself to anyone. Men feel it, they see it. And the right man, he'll respect it. So, if you're ready to attract the respect and admiration you deserve by living your worth instead of explaining it, stay tuned. By the end of this video, you'll have the mindset and skills to quietly captivate anyone while keeping your self-respect and dignity at the forefront. Let's dive in. 1. Maintain boundaries without verbalizing them. One of the most effective ways to let a man see your worth is by holding on to your boundaries without always having to announce them. In the dating world, boundaries are powerful because they silently communicate that you respect yourself. When a man sees that you won't easily compromise or bend over backward to please, he understands that you have standards. It's like the law of supply and demand. What's rare is valuable. When you quietly but firmly enforce your boundaries, you're telling him, I value myself too much to tolerate anything less than respect. Let me give you a quick example. Say you're on a date, and he makes a comment that feels a bit disrespectful or insensitive. Rather than confronting him immediately, you could simply excuse yourself, end the date early, or reduce future interactions with him. This silent response speaks volumes. He'll understand that if he doesn't treat you right, he won't get the privilege of your time. In other words, respect is a non-negotiable for you, and he'll quickly realize that you're not afraid to walk away if necessary. 2. Invest in yourself. Show, don't tell. There's a famous saying, you are what you invest in. If you want a man to see your worth, then show him by how you treat yourself. Think of it this way. If you expect others to see you as high value, you have to start with treating yourself as high value. This means taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. Invest in quality food, dress in a way that makes you feel confident, and put time into your passions and personal growth. Men are highly observant, especially when it comes to how women treat themselves. If you're willing to spend time and resources on yourself, it sends a clear message. I am worth it. And if you're worth it to yourself, he'll see you as worth it too. This is especially effective in the long run. Men are drawn to women who lead full, enriching lives on their own. They see you as someone who doesn't need a man, but rather wants a partner, which is a very different dynamic. 3. Embrace a sense of skepticism. Naivety is not a virtue. Ladies, in today's world, having a healthy degree of skepticism is not only wise, but necessary. I've coached countless women who believed that being open and trusting would make them more appealing, but the reality is quite the opposite. Modern men respect women who are discerning and cautious because it shows that they don't easily fall for empty words. This doesn't mean you need to be cold or closed off. It means you take your time to assess if a man's words align with his actions. Let's say a man showers you with compliments or makes grand promises early on. Instead of immediately believing everything, respond with something simple like, that sounds nice. Let's see how things unfold. You don't need to challenge every word he says, but by not blindly accepting everything at face value, you're telling him that you're not easily swayed. In fact, studies show that men are drawn to women who are a bit mysterious and who don't give away their full trust right away. It's about letting him earn that trust gradually. And as he does, he sees that your worth goes beyond surface-level charm. 4. Limit his access to you. Ladies, your time and attention are two of your most valuable assets. One of the most powerful ways to communicate your worth is by being intentional about who gets to spend time with you. When you don't make yourself overly available, it tells a man that he needs to earn his place in your life. This doesn't mean playing hard to get, but rather being selective and making sure he understands that your time is valuable. For instance, you don't have to answer every text immediately or drop everything just because he calls. Spend time with friends, pursue your hobbies, and let him see that you have a life beyond him. This creates a sense of anticipation and mystery, making him appreciate every moment he gets with you even more. Remember, quality men are attracted to women who are fully engaged in their own lives. 5. Always be ready to walk away. A truly high-value woman never feels tied to a relationship that doesn't meet her standards. This ready-to-walk-away mindset doesn't mean you're constantly looking for an exit. It means you have enough self-respect to leave if your core values aren't respected. Walking away when your standards aren't met sends a crystal-clear message about your worth. You're essentially saying, I respect myself too much to stay in a situation that's beneath me. This doesn't just apply to toxic relationships. Even if a man shows genuine interest but lacks the qualities you're looking for, it's okay to move on. Studies show that men often respect women more when they see they're not afraid to leave. If he knows you won't stay just for the sake of having someone, he'll understand that he needs to continually meet your standards. This energy will either push away men who don't value you or encourage those who do to step up and be the partner you deserve. 6. Focus on actions, not words. In relationships, actions always speak louder than words. One of the wisest things a woman can do is to focus on a man's behavior rather than getting swept away by his promises. We've all heard men say things like, I'll be there for you, or you're so special to me, but words are easy. It's his actions over time that show you his true intentions. If a man says he values you, but then disappears for days, cancels plans last minute, or isn't consistent, his actions are telling you a lot. And you don't need to call him out or argue about it. Simply note the inconsistency and adjust your level of investment accordingly. Respond with calmness and clarity, and let your own actions mirror his. If he's inconsistent, you're unavailable. By focusing on actions over promises, you're showing him that you value honesty, reliability, and effort. 7. Say no and mean it. One of the strongest ways to show your worth is to stand by your no. This applies not only to big things like intimacy, but also to smaller requests that don't align with your standards. Being able to say no, even if it disappoints him, is a mark of a high-value woman. Remember, men respect boundaries more when they see you're consistent in enforcing them. For example, if he suggests something you're uncomfortable with, like spending time at his place too early in the relationship, it's okay to say, no, I'm not ready for that yet. You don't need to explain or justify yourself. By calmly standing by your decision, you're showing him that you're not easily persuaded or willing to compromise your values to please him. This consistency builds trust and admiration. Men recognize and value a woman who knows her limits and doesn't waver under pressure. 8. Cultivate self-care as a priority. There's an old saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. The way you care for yourself sets the foundation for how others will treat you. Prioritize your physical and emotional well-being by exercising, eating well, pursuing your passions, and practicing self-compassion. Self-care isn't just about spa days or indulgences. It's about making sure your needs are met so you can be the best version of yourself. When a man sees that you're dedicated to taking care of yourself, it communicates that you're not waiting for someone else to make you feel whole. This kind of confidence and independence is deeply attractive. Men are drawn to women who are self-sufficient because they know that she's not looking to him for validation. This doesn't mean you can't be vulnerable or share your life with him, but it does mean that you're responsible for your own happiness, and that's powerful. 9. Show a healthy level of skepticism. Let's be real. A bit of skepticism in today's dating world is a survival skill. Modern dating is filled with people who may not have the best intentions, and being cautious doesn't make you cynical. It makes you smart. When you approach dating with a discerning eye, it tells a man that you're not naive and won't blindly trust someone based on charm alone. If he makes a grand promise or says something that sounds too good to be true, it's okay to respond with a smile and a question like, that sounds great, what makes you say that? This invites him to elaborate and shows him that you're paying attention. If he's genuine, he'll appreciate your curiosity. If he's not, he might stumble, which is a clear sign for you to proceed with caution. This skepticism protects you and demonstrates that you take relationships seriously. 10. Let your life be full and purpose-driven. One of the most magnetic qualities you can possess is living a life filled with passion and purpose. Men are naturally drawn to women who have a sense of direction and who aren't waiting for a relationship to bring meaning into their lives. If you're dedicated to your goals, whether they're personal, professional, or creative, it sends a message that you are independent and fulfilled. Having a purpose outside of a relationship also shifts the dynamic, so a man sees that he needs to bring value into your life to be a part of it. Maybe you're passionate about your career, a creative project, or volunteering. Whatever it is, let it shine. This sense of purpose gives you a radiant confidence and self-assurance that's incredibly attractive. You're showing him that while you want a partner, you're not waiting for someone to complete you because you're already whole. 11. Embrace self-respect over approval. There's a powerful quote by Eleanor Roosevelt: "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." When you live by self-respect, you're telling the world and him that your worth is non-negotiable. Seeking a man's approval or validation can sometimes make you seem overly eager, which diminishes your perceived worth. Instead, focus on approving of yourself first. This doesn't mean you can't value his opinions or seek his support, but it does mean that your happiness isn't dependent on his approval. For example, if he doesn't respond right away to a message or doesn't seem as invested one day, resist the urge to chase him for reassurance. Instead, remind yourself that your worth isn't based on his response. This quiet confidence and self-approval are much more powerful than any words you could say. A man notices when a woman doesn't need constant validation because it's rare, and it shows inner strength and independence. 12. Be present in every moment. A truly high-value woman knows the importance of presence. When you're with him, whether it's on a date or simply spending time together, make an effort to be genuinely present. Put away distractions, focus on the conversation, and show authentic interest. Presence is powerful because it demonstrates that you're intentional with your time and energy. Being fully present also gives you a chance to observe his actions and character. By focusing on the present moment, you're not preoccupied with where the relationship is going or analyzing every move. This grounded approach gives off an aura of calm and confidence. Men are drawn to women who can be in the moment without needing constant reassurance about the future, as it suggests a secure sense of self and trust in the natural flow of the relationship. 13. Show appreciation without overcompensating. Men appreciate feeling valued, but there's a fine line between showing genuine appreciation and overcompensating. When he does something thoughtful or goes out of his way, acknowledge it and express gratitude. But resist the urge to go overboard, as this can unintentionally signal that you feel the need to earn his affection. A simple thank you or a warm smile can go a long way. You're showing him that you value his efforts without making it seem like you're overly impressed or dependent on his actions. This balanced appreciation keeps the dynamic healthy, where both of you are adding value without feeling the need to constantly prove yourselves. 14. Cultivate emotional intelligence and self-control. In a world where emotions often run high, self-control and emotional intelligence stand out. Men are naturally drawn to women who don't let every small thing throw them off balance. When challenges arise, whether it's a misunderstanding or a stressful day, try to respond with calmness and maturity. Emotional intelligence means understanding your own feelings, being aware of his, and handling both with grace. If he sees that you're able to handle challenges without becoming reactive, it's a clear indicator of inner strength. This self-control is not only attractive, but also builds trust. He'll feel more comfortable opening up to you, knowing that you won't overreact or let small issues become big problems. This balance is a testament to your self-worth, showing him that you're a woman of depth and stability. 15. Never chase. Allow him to pursue. Finally, one of the most powerful ways to show your worth is by never chasing a man. When a woman chases, it often signals a lack of self-confidence or a fear of losing him. But a high-value woman knows that she doesn't need to pursue a man for his attention or affection. By allowing him to initiate and take the lead in expressing interest, you're subtly communicating that he needs to make an effort to win your time and attention. It's about embodying the belief that you're worth pursuing. Letting him pursue you creates a natural dynamic where he feels respected in his role as the one who takes initiative and you remain in your power. If he pulls back or loses interest, let him go gracefully, knowing that your worth doesn't depend on him staying. This shows a strength and independence that many men find irresistible. In closing, remember that showing a man your worth doesn't require grand gestures or a constant need to prove yourself. It's about embodying qualities like self-respect, boundaries, emotional intelligence, and purpose. When you live by these principles, you're not only showing him your worth, you're also strengthening your own sense of self. True worth is unspoken. It's shown through actions, choices, and a steady, unshakable confidence. So, ladies, as you go out into the world, keep these principles close to heart. Be the woman who knows her value and isn't afraid to live by it. Men will notice, and the right ones will admire and respect you for it. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, remember to take care of yourself first, because that's where true worth begins.